The Grand Tale of Illium, a chronicle of light, shadow, and the endless cycles. Act 1. The Dawn of Illium. In the farthest reaches of the cosmos, where stars glimmer like distant memories, Illium was born, not in a flash, but slowly coaxed into existence over eons. It began as a silent, empty vessel, adrift in the cosmic sea, untouched and unseen. Two ancient stars, Lyra the bright and Umon the fierce, crossed paths. And in that meeting a seed was sown in the vast emptiness. The stars embraced Illium, their orbits intertwining around it, casting golden and crimson light over the young, lifeless world. In these earliest days, a phenomenon known only as the first shaping began. Lyra's light was gentle, weaving whispers of breeze and song, while Umon's fire lent strength, birthing the land from the formless mists. From their cosmic dreams, Illium began to breathe. Rivers wound through mountains, valleys formed, and the skies filled with shimmering auroras. A cloak of emerald green fluttered over the world like a living veil. The age of breath had begun, but Illium was still young, holding within it the potential for all that could be. Elemental spirits, the gales of Lyra and the fires of Umon, emerged, embodying air and flame. They drifted across Illium like gusts of wind, their ethereal forms intangible, yet resonant with consciousness. They were the first to call Illium their home, harmonizing their songs with the energies of Lyra and Umon, weaving a resonance into the land. Then, from this resonance, a single radiant seed sprouted at Illium's heart. The seed was the promise of life, a spark holding the boundless vitality of Illium itself. Its roots stretched deep, touching every crevice of the land, each pulse transforming the barren world. The age of sprouting blossomed. From the seed, the first trees grew, their trunks beating with a gentle rhythm. Forests rose in waves, rivers became veins of song, and creatures of myriad shapes began to roam. Life awakened on Illium. Strange and wondrous forms connected to the seed's heartbeat. But life's splendor grew even more vivid with the emergence of Illium's first sentient beings. Act 2. The Erylian and the Deep Binding. Amid Illium's flourishing beauty came the Erylian, tall, silver-skinned beings with eyes that held echoes of stars. They emerged in clusters, walking lightly upon the land, marveling at the life surrounding them. Their spirits were woven from Illium's essence, connected deeply to its rhythms. To the Erylian, every tree, every river, and every creature was kin. The Erylians were listeners, not creators. They listened to the songs in the wind, to whispers in the soil, and secrets carried in the river's flow. Over time, they discovered something remarkable. Their lives did not end as mortal lives do. When they died, they didn't vanish, but were reborn anew. Sometimes as another Erylian, but often as trees, rivers, or mountains. This cycle, known as the Deep Binding, kept them close to Illium's heart, each life a thread in the grand tapestry. Some Erylians began to experience fragments of past lives, visions of once being an ancient tree on a sunlit glade, or a moment of sorrow as an old mountain overlooking valleys of green. These memories connected them across lifetimes, filling them with a bittersweet longing that reached beyond individual lifespans. The Erylians began to recognize each other, not merely as kin, but as soul friends, spirits woven together across countless lives. As the Erylian deepened their understanding, Illium responded, new beings appeared, creatures born with gifts beyond those of the Erylian. These were the Shapers, beings who could channel Illium's energy directly, molding stone, water, and earth by sheer will. While the Erylian listened, the Shapers shaped. At first, the Shapers worked harmoniously with Illium's natural forces, respecting the deep binding that held all life together. But soon, ambition stirred among them, and two factions arose. The Circle of Creation believed their powers should nurture the land, shaping it to reveal hidden beauty. The Circle of Dominion, however, saw Illium as a canvas for their vision, believing they alone could determine its perfect form. They sought to subjugate Illium, bending it to their will. A conflict brewed between the two circles, with each side wielding powers that rippled across the land. The struggle reached a cataclysmic point in an event known as the Shattering of the Third Sky. The Circle of Dominion unleashed energies so potent that rifts opened in Illium's essence, creating barren, lifeless lands, the wastes, where the deep binding. In the end, the Circle of Creation made a great sacrifice, binding the Circle of Dominion within a realm of their own, a shadowed dimension called the Twilight Exile. Though the balance of Illium was preserved, the damage was profound. Illium's fabric was weakened, and its cycles strained under the weight of loss. Yet, amid the sorrow, a new era dawned, the Age of Healing. In the Age of Healing, new guardians arose. Known as the Dreamweavers, they were beings born from Illium's ancient memories, echoes of the land's own consciousness. Gentle and wise, the Dreamweavers held subtle gifts that soothed and healed. They sang songs that could mend fractured spirits, binding together broken memories. They helped the Erylian and other creatures of Illium remember lives they had once lived, dreams they had lost, and connections that still pulsed across lifetimes. The Dreamweavers established a sanctuary known as the Heart of the Seed, a grove where the original seed that birthed life still thrived, surrounded by ancient, pulsing trees. It became a place of pilgrimage, a space where all could come to seek visions, guidance, and renewal. The Dreamweavers taught those who visited to see beyond their own lives, to feel the threads of rebirth that bound them to Illium. Here, visitors remembered fragments of their former selves and felt a profound kinship with the world around them. Yet as Illium healed, the stars themselves began to stir, signaling a prophecy. As the Age of Stars began, a great legend emerged, the prophecy of the last Shaper. It spoke of a time when a Shaper would return, bearing within them the knowledge of every age, the power to either heal or destroy Illium. The last Shaper would be a bridge between the might of the ancient Shapers and the wisdom of the Dreamweavers, destined to walk with companions from past lives, drawn together by fate. This Shaper, it was said, would be joined by soul companions who embodied the elements of Illium, a spirit of rivers, a creature of the forest, a flame from Umon's fire. Together, they would face trials that tested their loyalty and understanding, forcing them to choose between preserving Illium and embracing their own forgotten desires. their choices would determine Illium's future. With each passing age, Illium watched and waited, each soul reborn holding a piece of the prophecy within them. The Erylian, the Dreamweavers, and the creatures of Illium all looked to the heavens, wondering when the last shaper would come and what path they might choose.